Hello. I think it's been about 22 years since I've actually been live. So if you're watching this live, hi. And when you watch this in the future, hi. I am jumping on because I just did a major plot twist for this weekend. And on top of that, I have been really looking at what it takes to stimulate change, what it is that we can create from that actually creates life worth living, what it takes to stimulate joy. Like I've just been looking at a lot of things. So I wanted to be here for you and with you and invite you this weekend and also have a conversation with you about order and chaos and organization and these things that we do to try to have more control that actually shrink everything. Hi, Julia. And make it harder. So this live was stimulated by a major plot twist. Gary Douglas is changing foundation classes back to live only, which I think is amazing. And we have one opportunity to have another online foundation with me this weekend. I just changed it. I just posted it. So that's the catalyst. So you're invited. And if you'd like the link, you can go to the Access site. You can message me. Hi, Petra. For those of you guys that are big connectors that want to connect your people to this foundation this weekend, reach out to me. That's available too. But let's add to this conversation because I didn't have to put on a foundation this weekend. And the reason I want to talk about it is that there are times when in your life and in your business, things are going to seem like they're not working. They're going to seem like everything you do that might have normally created something isn't quite doing the thing. And those are the times that a couple of different things are happening. And I want to talk about that first, and then I want to talk about what you can choose to have some change with it. Hi, Mary. So if you guys are just jumping on now, there's been a big plot twist and we have a new class this weekend. You can go to the Access site and jump on. But I'm stimulating the conversation around what you can start to choose when things feel slow or like they're not changing. So that's been going on in my world for the last 2 months. And in the last 2 months, to give you some backstory, I have been making major changes, like big demand of myself to create locally. So we've gifted 60 bar sessions. We're doing Access Bars tasters. We're doing bars classes. So that's really different. And that takes a lot, even though I'm not even the primary connector, that takes a lot of time. Hi, Dale. Hi, Mary. We're moving countries again, but like getting an apartment. So we're signing a lease today on an apartment. There's just a lot of changes, right? And on top of that, my sense is there's a lot of changes in the world. And maybe you guys can confirm the sensation of this too. So nothing in the business or in my life has worked the same because I've been changing, number one. Number two, the world's changing. So I was heading into this month, and you know how when you're looking at the energy of things and it just doesn't seem like anything's moving? That's what I was getting. I'm like, there's stuff happening. There are seeds being planted for the future, like all over the place. In the last couple of weeks, I added like 650 new people, new of you guys, to my email list. Like there's interest, there's stuff occurring, but there's not a lot of, it's like, what else, So anyway, so what will occur? You can be with this one of two ways. So you can judge what's showing up or not showing up, which I've definitely done. And if you do that, you kill awareness of what's really occurring. You can really get present with everything energetically and go, okay, what is this? What can I do with it? Can I change it? And if so, how can I change it? And you can just jump tracks and make a totally different choice. So I pulled some stuff for you out of the reference materials, which is the archived material from Access Consciousness. And I'm not going to read a ton of it, but if you look into the reference materials, there's this conversation on chaos and order. And I would say I float in and out of these. So there's chaos, there's order, and there's organization. Chaos is that generative energy for creation. Chaos is what the earth is. It's total chaos all the time. Order is what we do to try to control things. And organization is what's required for chaos to thrive. So I'm looking out here because you can see I'm in a jungle. I'm staying in a building that is like covered with these beautiful vines. And that's why I love this room, because I feel like I'm in the jungle. But if you look at this jungle, it's incredibly chaotic, and yet there's a natural organization that allows it to be chaotic. Okay, so blah, blah, blah. So when things feel stuck or when things aren't moving, the energy to instill is chaos. And I've been really looking for what can I change or choose that's different in order to shake things up. And so yesterday, when Gary Douglas was like, okay, no more online classes, October's the end, I'm like, that. I had a business done different class this weekend. It just wasn't doing the thing, and that's fine. So it's changed. Okay, but let me read you this stuff. This is for you. This is out of a section called What Have You Decided is Absolutely Not Possible to Create? I'm going to run this clearing for you. For those of you guys that are new to the clearings, you can go to theclearingstatement.com. What have you decided it is absolutely not possible to create that is truly possible to create, that if you would create it, would change all realities and create your life? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. Now, that would be a great process to put on a loop. And when I say that, I mean like record it into a voice recorder note on your phone and let it run. What have you decided it is absolutely not possible to create, that is truly possible to create, that if you would create it, would change all realities and create your life? And everything that is, will you revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. So this is a big, long section, and I will not going to read it all to you. But one of the things I loved, I'm scrolling, so pardon my eye contact here, was that I was searching for the word chaos because I was like, that's what I'm choosing in today. And here's what's interesting about when you choose to instill chaos or you change something totally or you jump tracks, is that energy of life and living infuses your body again. And I was like, when I made the choice to change classes and change tracks and we put all the stuff together and we sent out the email, all of a sudden I was like alive again. I was like, okay, that's that generative energy for life and living. That's what occurs. And there's so many times I will just like commit to a path because I'm committed. And then even if it's not fully working, I'll just stay the course because I'm committed. And sometimes that's brilliant. And sometimes it makes everything harder. So today I was like, fuck the commitments. We're changing tracks. So that's chaos. That's an element of chaos. And listen to this. What if you created your life from chaos? So how much energy are we using to order things into existence rather than instill that generative creative energy that shakes everything up and allows them to change? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. What if you created your life from chaos? This is Gary now. Chaos is the willingness to receive everything just as it is in every moment of every day. Now, we could go 18 different directions of that. Like, if we apply it to this, it's willing to receive that maybe things aren't moving and going, what else can I choose and what else can I change? What can I add to my life? It's being willing to pivot, turn, twist, plot twist at any particular moment in order to create something different. That's a piece of, like, that's a facet of it. So chaos is the willingness to receive everything just as it is in every moment of every day. Okay, as it is. So if I wasn't trying to change what it is, if I wasn't trying to do a different version of what it is, if I wasn't trying to do it differently so that blah, blah, blah could occur, what could I choose that's different? Hi, Julie. Hi, Michael. Is the air consistent? This is Gary. It is always changing. It's sometimes hard, sometimes soft, sometimes cold, sometimes warm, sometimes hot, sometimes everything. That's chaos. All right. So when things aren't like the air where it's always changing, when things in your life, when things in your business, when things with money aren't like kind of constantly, there's been an order installed that has someone, probably you, me, has decided that things have to be a certain way. It's like when we put a class up, for example, people have to register. And if they're not registering, we need to do something to make them register. You know, that controlling energy? Instead of going, okay, cool, people aren't registering for this. What else is possible? What else can I choose? That's chaos. The universe is based on chaos. In nature, do they have little rows of cornflowers in one location and poppies in another location? Or do they just sort of sporadically, chaotically, abundantly, and joyfully express themselves in life? That. How much energy are you using to not be the joyful, generative expression of life called you? A lot or a little or a megaton? Would you consider using that in a different way and find out what it would be like to be the chaotic graduate of the universe that you really are? And everything that is times a godzillion, right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, poets, ambience. Hi, Susan. What's the most fun time of your life where you have everything, what's the most fun time in your life? When you have everything under control, or when you have so much going on, you don't even know what you have to do next? So much going on that you don't know what to do next. Do you ever notice when you have too much going on, you forget to eat? And you don't even think about it. And then you go, oh my God, I should have eaten. But are you really hungry? Does your body need energy, or are you energy when you do that? When you are being energy and your body needs no energy. Oh, sorry, I'm doing terrible English here. Does your body need energy, or are you energy when you do that? When you are being energy, your body needs no energy. Isn't that weird? If you spend your life having too much to do, you could be you. So what else can I add to my life is the question you need to ask yourself. What else can I add to my life that would make my life more fun? The purpose of life? There is none. The purpose of life is to have fun, nothing else. So, are you having any fun? I feel like I should be in a crowd right now. Like, are you having any fun? Let me hear it from the back. Let me hear it from the bleachers. No? Okay. What would it take? What would it take? What would it take to have fun? What are you currently choosing that is like trying to control things into existence? And how could you shake it up? How could you make it more chaotic? What can you add to your life? What can you change, choose, institute? What tracks can you jump? Look, chaos is a state of pure potential. Yes, I would even say chaos is a space of possibilities. Because chaos isn't even a state. A state is a static thing. Chaos is a space of total possibility where everything is possible, everything's available. All we have to do is choose, 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 choose. And I remember so much the conversation that I heard from Gary in a 7-day class. And if you guys don't know what a 7-day class, it's one of the more advanced classes in Access. And this was probably 7 years ago, but it stuck with me. And he said to us, and I was kind of newish 3 years into Access Consciousness at the time. He said to us, for all of you guys in here, your reality is much more like quicksand. I never forgot that. He's like, and how do you stay alive on quicksand? You choose, 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 choose. That's how you make it through quicksand. So for all of you guys that are rainforest adventurers, if you ever hit a patch of quicksand, now you know what to do. What kills you on quicksand is when you stop moving. And so as soon as you stop moving, it's very much like if you're standing at the edge of the ocean and, the waves come and you're just standing there, you sink down into the sand. The same is true of quicksand. But if you stay moving, you're fine. So I was recognizing that so much in the last couple weeks for me, like maybe longer, that everything felt really slow. I'm not saying this is true for all of us, but this is for those of you guys that it has been that way. And so I've been looking for like, what other choices do I have? Because basically in those moments, you've got two universes you can choose from. You can choose from you can choose to go into the heavy universe of like, oh my God, everything's bad. Everything's getting slower. I don't know what to do. That's the heavy lie universe. I've done it. You can jump out of that universe over here into this universe and go, fuck it. Like, what else can I choose? How can I pivot? What can I change? Because when consciousness, when you go through or choose big changes, first of all, nobody announces how that's going to show up. There's no like email that you get that goes, okay, now that you've chosen this big change, here's how it's going to feel. And here's what's going on. And here's what you're going to be perceiving. And don't worry, it's just change. So you don't get that. So you have to be willing to upgrade your intelligence system and go, okay, it feels like this. I'm perceiving this. This is how things are showing up. What is different? And what do I need to choose? So it's like you have to, in order to get through it in a way that doesn't destroy you, choose the productive role, which is that proactive, on your toes, ready to pivot at any moment, ready to pounce, ready to change, ready to, choose in order to have something different show up. Hi, Suzanne. So hopefully that's a gift to you. I'm very likely just going to show up live for the next 4 days until we start foundation on Friday. I would really encourage you to sign up. If you've been asking for a foundation class with me and you have been waiting, you can wait. That's okay. I am going to be doing live classes after that, mostly in Latin America for the next year. So you can just come to Colombia. And if it's time, I would jump in now because this is literally, I know I've said this is the last class, but literally the last online foundation class. So private message me for the link. Country pricing applies, repeat pricing applies. Also, just so you know, foundation with me is probably one of the most game-changing classes you can choose. It doesn't matter how many times you've taken it. If you've never taken it with me, or even if you have and you require that spike of change, this is your thing. All right, I adore you guys. What I would invite you to ask today is, what chaos can I instill here? What's possible? What can I choose? What tracks can I change? And see what shows up for you. And otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow or in class.